Was I wrong about silver in 2023? Hey everyone, thanks for watching Yankee Stacking. At the end of 2022, I forecasted a slight rise to the spot price of silver for 2023. $25 an ounce was my conservative estimate. I also thought gold would hit $1,900 an ounce by the end of 2023. But was I wrong? You know, I got called out by many of you. You thought that my estimate of $25 an ounce was a lowball price for silver. Many of you said silver is going much higher than $25 an ounce, Yankee. Okay, fair enough. I was a bit cautious, but I believe the recession that we are already in could put a temporary damper on the price of silver due to waning industrial demand, a rebound in oil prices, growing job losses that I think is coming. I'm convinced we have stagflation for 2023, people. Let's take a quick look midday at the markets as of the recording of this video on Thursday, January 11th. It was a big day with the announcement of the CPI dropping just a smidge, okay, down 0.1%. Still an understated 6.5%. The tech-heavy NASDAQ is up 5.91% year to date. S&P 500, it's up 4.43% year to date. Gold is up 4% year to date, again, as of the recording of this video. And silver is down 0.37% year to date. Now I got to show you what's in this box while I tell you what's doing even better than all of what I just shared with you year to date. Oh, yeah, the Morgan rounds. Oh, guys, I love these rounds. Look at that. Aren't those beautiful? My word. Anyway, what is doing better than the NASDAQ, the S&P, the gold and silver precious metals markets that I mentioned? Precious metals mining stocks. Yes, the GDX, which, by the way, if you don't know what that is, it's the index of major players in the gold and silver mining sector, and the GDXJ, which is an index of junior miners, are both up over 8%. 8%! That's roughly twice the S&P 500, guys. Halfway through January, one of the best performing sectors of the market is precious metals mining. Did you guys know that? And as the old saying goes, because I'm old, as goes January, so goes the year. Guys, I think gold and silver mining stocks might end up being the very best performers in 2023, even in the midst of a recession. So what does this all tell me to do? Well, first, I'm using the softness in the silver spot price to increase my silver stack. Let me repeat that. Use the softness in the silver spot price to increase your silver stack physically. This is my opportunity to get more wealth insurance on sale. Now, I know the premiums are high, but they're coming down. Guys, the premiums on these silver rounds were actually quite low. Oh, they're great. It also tells me to keep speculating with good quality mining companies. Not with a large portion of my portfolio. I'm way too old for that. But after the Fed capitulates to stagflation and pivots, which they're going to do, I think the mining sector ship, if you will have left the harbor. And I don't want to miss that boat. I'm not a professional financial advisor, you know that, and I'm not suggesting you do what I'm doing. But one of the boats that I'm about to add to my mining stock fleet is Silver Mountain Resources. I am really excited to have Jose Vizquera, the director of Silver Mountain and a gracious Yankee sponsor, back on my channel to answer some tough silver questions for us. Hi, Jose. Welcome back.
Hi, how are you doing? Great to see you.
That's great to see you too. You know, I just highlighted the fact that right now, halfway through January, one of the best performing market sectors is precious metals mining, with the GDX and the GDXJ indexes both up over 8% year to date. Jose, is this trend going to continue?
My best assumption is that it will continue to go in this trend, particularly because of what's going on with the amount of money being printed in the United States. At some point, this has to be paid. There is not such a thing as free lunch. Inflation keeps going up, and this means that the cost of goods it's more expensive for the usual or for the person that walks in the streets, and so that really gives the opportunity for precious metals to gain traction.
When we last spoke back in November, you discussed your background. You were the president and CEO of O3 Mining. You have an amazing mining family pedigree, and you founded and chair Silver Mountain Resources. There was a lot of fascinating info in that video, and I encourage my viewers to check out that video link in the description of this video. But Jose, I have two more tough silver questions for you. What happens when investor demand comes just flooding in to such a small and special silver market?
Prices fly, and that's the opportunity for those ones investing early. We
Because
have
it is a small
it is
market.
very small, and that's where the opportunity is, because I mean making your investment will be revalued very fast as soon as everyone wants to comes in. And we're talking about not only people, but now we're talking about countries that would want to secure certain amount of the actual metal, which is extremely important as we continue to move forward.
All right, so my second question. It's an open one for you, but why should I become an investor in Silver Mountain Resources? Why should I add your company to my precious metals mining model portfolio?
Because it's a unicorn. And what I mean by a unicorn is one of those few companies that does not need a lot of money to essentially put the asset into production. And it's only when you have it into production where you can generate free cash flow and where you don't need to tap the market constantly to continue to fund projects. But from that point on, you have the platform from where you could grow. Not everyone understands how difficult it is to be in a position to be almost in production. Because if we go from the geological standpoint of view, you have to first identify where you want to go and explore. You're going to look for areas where the mountains are being built, or where mountains were built long time ago, like cratons, and you go to Australia or to Canada or some areas in the States or Brazil, or you go where mountain buildings are being formed, and then you go to the Andes of Peru, for example, where we are, or Chile. And from there, you go and start doing mapping, and then you start collecting samples, and then you start doing geochemistry, and then you start doing geophysics, and then suddenly you said, aha, I know an area where I could prove what I see on surface if it really goes in a third dimension down, and that's the moment where you drill. But that time you have already spent millions of dollars and you don't know if you're going to hit or not. Suddenly you hit and you don't know much, then you have to do many meters of drilling in order to say that this third dimension actually has a volume. And that's when the resource comes in. But that is a long process. So that has already been done in our case. They have even gone in tunnels, and they have even built a plant. And now we're just refurbishing the plant and taking what has been found and being processed. So
You're talking about the Lassonde curve, right? The stages that you have to go through.
yes, one of those very well explained situation in the mining industry, where you start drilling and you start going up, and you have discovery and share price keeps going up. And then suddenly you do the first resource and it's flattened. And then you do your PA and it's flattening. And then you do your pre-feasibility is flat. And then you do your feasibility and start coming down.
Mm-hmm.
People understand that now you're going to be funding this. So you have to find the money to build it. And then start coming down, down, down until you build it and then start going up. We are here. And then you continue. Hopefully, no. In our case, I hope the learning curve does not goes wrong with us, and that's where we are. So we intend to have this in production, full production by 2024, beginning of production by 2023, and we have hired as a COO the guy that used to be the general manager for Pan American Silver in Peru. So I think we have the best team that you could think about to move forward this project. And that's why we're so excited about it. We have two main veins that we have right now at the mine site, and which is Matacaballo and Sacasipuedes. And these are two essentially parallel veins that we have, and most of the resources has been within those two areas. We have in historical resources over 80 million ounces of silver. So we make a quick calculation, assuming $20, like that's a lot of money what it's worth right now in the ground. And we are starting to find a lot of these veins which are parallel or just tensional to these two veins, one of them being III, and we'll continue to find more of them as we continue to work. Remember that in our asset, we have a lot of tunnels that were already done in the early 2000s. So we have the ability now to drill from underground smaller distances, which allow us to spend less money and gain more information. And that's where the beauty is in an asset like Silver Mountain Resources.
Well, I'm excited about your company. I've researched Silver Mountain Resources quite a bit since we last spoke, and I'm going to become a shareholder, Jose. But everyone watching, this is my speculative move here. Please do your own due diligence. Make sure you invest your money wisely and make your own decisions on it. But Jose, how can listeners and viewers find out more about Silver Mountain?
You can go to www.silvermountainresources.com. It is also under AGMR, so you can find that AG for silver, MR for mountain resources. So it's very simple in terms of ticker. And of course, through our website, if you want to reach out to us and send us email, we'll be more than happy to respond to those questions.
As Jose said, in the Toronto Stock Exchange, it is AGMR. For us Americans down here, like me in New Hampshire, Silver Mountain Resources can be found on the over-the-counter market under ticker symbol AGMRF. Thanks so much again for joining, Jose. This is great.
Thank you so much for having us. It's been a fantastic time talking to you.